Okay, the next review is of White Plains Golf Course, which is a county course just south of Waldorf on off of Route 301. It is in an area which has seen a fair degree of development over the years I played this course. I played it quite a few times for a number of years. I played this course the few times I played it. There were no houses on the course, essentially. Maybe a handful, one or two in a couple places. Now the houses are all over the course, pressing on the course. It's, in my opinion, there are just too many houses on this course now. And that suffer. They're not necessarily on the course, but they're close enough where, given the number of houses, the proximity of the houses to the course, and the neighborhood, the area that it's in, you run into a problem where you have too many people talking in and around their houses, too loudly, too many people watching you play, and too many people commenting on you when you play. And in my opinion, that is enough. I don't need that kind of crap when I'm playing a golf course. Have somebody in a house 100 yards or 50 yards off the course yapping about my game or whatever, or just yapping on the phone or whatever. And the last time I played this course, at least 2 or 3 times, there was a guy sitting in his backyard talking on the phone, and he was right next to the fairway on, say number 7, I think it was. And also on number 15 maybe. And someone talking about my game on number 3 or 4, and it just was obnoxious. And I really do miss the course that used to be there when you could play that course and see almost nobody, hear almost nobody. You were basically back there by yourself, just having a good old time. Now it's completely opposite. It's almost as bad as Pembroke. Houses are not quite on the course, but there's certainly as many houses as you would see at Pembroke, and just obnoxious. So I give that a major strike for the course. The second thing about the course that I don't quite like is that it does tend to get matted down. The rough on this course is not really rough as it is on most or many courses in terms of thick and hard to hit out of. It's more like it's just long grass, long straight blade grass, and it's really easy to get it matted down. People drive on it with the carts or walk over it, and because it's a fairly wooded course, it's hard for that grass to stay well lit and grow thick, and you do see this sort of mat in a lot of places. Also on and one of the reasons I put in so many shots of the greens is because you can see there's no real short rough around the green. A lot of the greens have a thick rough, and a lot of the greens just have this matted down rough that isn't really cut. It's just longer rough, but it's matted down. Now, in some of the holes, like number 10, that rough around the green is a factor to be reckoned with. You're trying to pitch out of that rough, and it's this oasis of rough around the green. The green is flat and fast, and it's very easy, to have to pitch a pitching wedge or something out of that rough. And I'm not a big fan of pitching wedges out of rough because it's very easy to blade it. You're trying to cut through that rough. It's a challenge. This course does have some very challenging rough around some of the greens. It's either flattened down and fast, or thick and rough. And there's a lot of variety in that regard around the greens in this course. But I like the layout in terms of, some of the holes you have to play a fade, some you play a cut shot. There's a good degree of verticality. There's not really much to see per se. I mean, it's a golf course basically with some houses. There's nothing to see on this course. It's zero for views, except maybe the lake on number 10 tee shot is kind of interesting. And there's another lake or creek or part of that lake that you hit the number 18 approach. But it's a bare bones golf course. You're not going to play this course because there are interesting views on it. It's a decent round, certainly challenging. The layout is very nice. I like a lot of the holes. There's certainly a lot of risk reward on this course. It is a real shame that it's been ruined by the construction in the area. But other than that, if you take that away, it's a decent course. It's okay. I wouldn't call it spectacular. There's some of the greens are in borderline bad shape no matter what time of the year it is, because they're just back in these hollows, and you can't really see. There's no sunlight back in these holes like number 8. It's okay to play, but you're not really going to worry too much about the putting because the green's not in great condition. I think it's all right. Some of the greens are not in great condition in other parts of the course. Some of them are. Some of them are a nice challenge. It has some definite danger in some of your approach shots, and I certainly appreciate playing this course. This is a course I really kind of learned how to play on. One of the few courses I learned how to play on. I used to play this course all the time, and I think it's a good challenge, a good county course. Certainly good, decent little clubhouse, good hot grill. You can sit there and have a beer and watch tennis or other golf matches. It's a little tiny place, but it has a table and a couple of seats for watching TV and a decent grill. I think it's a nice place. I'm not going to give it a bad score, but it's not great. I give it a B-. It's a good course to give you an idea of what a challenging layout is like. A good course to give you an idea of what it's like to try to bite off more than you can chew and suffer the consequences without having to worry about hitting long shots or anything like that. It's not that long of a course, and it does challenge your intermediate game as much as your driver and your short game. It's a really nice little course that unfortunately it could be in better condition, and unfortunately it could have less houses. It could be worse. It could have more houses. It could be in worse condition. So I'll give it a B-, or at least a strong C+. And that's White Plains in Waldorf, Maryland. It's really just south of Waldorf on 301. Nice little course, enjoyable round, not expensive. So another good thing about it is you usually get on this course for about $20 for 18 holes. Great little, modest course, but you're going to have to deal with the housing that is really obnoxious and some people yapping on the course that are just in their houses yapping and getting under your skin if you're not thick-skinned. One of the things I should add about White Plains is it's like a lot of woods courses. In the sense that you can scramble a lot on this course. And if you like scrambling, it's a fun course to play for that. There's some waste in the course, but it isn't like a major factor on the course. And also, it's not going to kill you if you play into adjacent fairways either, which is another. I have to say that's a trait of a golf course. A lot of courses are so tight. There's so much wood, so much trees. If you get out of the hole you're on, there's no chance you're going to find your ball. This is not that kind of course. Very few of the holes are like that, and quite often you can go up in the woods or at least through the woods and find your ball on the next fairway or in between fairways.